Oh, a networking issue. Okay. I'm ready. Okay, and he has no reply, so we have to help him. So this is from Kos Fukuf. We'll just go with Kos. Kos writes, networking issue, 1/4 the speed before resetting the switch. I have an ongoing issue for a while now with my home network. Basically, my internet speeds is always 1/4 of the max unwired. However, if I unplug my switch and reconnect, I get my full speed. I do not have a background in networking. However, I have set up a small home office network and PoE camera system. I initially made a 20-meter Cat5e cable that runs directly from my router into an Ethernet socket. Okay. I installed in my bedroom and from the socket into a small unmanaged switch. My PC had 1 gig mini PCIe network card which handles the connection from the switch. Here's what I tried so far. I re-terminated the RJ45 clips done multiple times at this point, ran a cable direct from the Ethernet socket to the device instead of the switch, used alternate wiring for the socket ends, was unsure if I needed crossover cable before I entered switch or PC. Nowadays, depending on the device, but most devices now, they don't really care if you use a crossover or a straight cable. Crossover cable is a cable whose pins are crossed, and it's basically whenever you're trying to connect to like devices, like for routers to routers or switches to switches, things of that nature. But most stuff don't care anymore because it's the same pins, they're just crossed. Currently using ran cable directly from Ethernet socket to device instead of switch. Use alternate wiring for socket in, was unsure if I needed crossover cable before I entered the switch or PC. Currently using wiring B on both ends, tested cables with a network tester. Hey, that's what I would have said. I know the switch is good and the issue persists even without the switch in the network. Does anyone with more experience have any suggestion for what could be the cause? Apologies if this is not enough information to diagnose. Okay, so you're getting 1/4 of the internet speed and the only way to fix it is by resetting. However, you've already tried to bypass the switch and you've already tried to plug it directly into the router from the computer. So you plugged it in directly to the router from the computer and you still have the issue. So what I would do for this, if your modem and router are separate, then your next step would be to, is the cable too long? That's a possibility, but we'll bypass it. So we'll bypass it. You'll see here. So then your next step would be to bypass the router entirely and plug the modem into the PC to see if that makes a difference. Now, the modem will need to be rebooted, but the IP you will pull will be public. So yeah, so if we bypass the router and hook up directly, and he still has the issue, then he's only looking at an issue between his cable and his networking card. If he bypasses it and it fixes the issue, it's his router. So we'll just go that route with it. Now he said he's tried multiple cables. He said he tried crossover, so on and so forth. But yeah, that's what I would do for this one here. But that's literally his next step, is to go ahead and bypass the router. If your modem and router are separate, then I still can't spell separate, then your next step would be to bypass the router entirely and plug the modem into the PC to see if that makes a difference. Now the modem will need to be rebooted, but the IP you will pull will be public. Does this resolve the issue? If yes, equals router problem. Oh, he already knows that. This guy's pretty smart. Well, he's pretty smart when it comes to networking. So I'll just say, hey, does this resolve the issue? And then he'll probably just go blah, 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 with networking vomit. That's how it was when I first started. If I started talking to somebody and started talking about networking and I feel like that person may know something about networking, I just vomit networking. I don't even know what I'm talking about half the time, but I just vomit it and just hope for the best. Be like, oh, friend, please talk to me. I've been alone studying. Please say something. That's how I that's how I be feeling sometimes when be with them those networking issues when you don't really know how to troubleshoot and you meet somebody who does. Until you get to a place where everybody knows how to troubleshoot networking issues.